market. This is, to me, what I'm about to say, Josh, is a really, really important point for you guys and for anybody listening. It is important to recognize two things that are both true at once. One, okay, the financial structure of NIL, it doesn't make business sense, okay? But two, if we wait for it to make business sense, we will be left so far behind that we will lose our opportunity to be at the big boy table in whatever's coming in college football. Now, will it start to make sense this summer with some regulation? It could be at any moment. But what's very difficult in my conversation with people around the program, and I get it, and I'm the first one to admit, it's a non-sustainable model as it stands today. So there's a lot of incentive for very wise people to say, I'm going to stay on the sideline until it makes sense. Because look, I'm too smart. I made too much money doing it the right way, and I'm too keen from a business standpoint to jump into the space. And I get it completely. I get that as a 100% rational thought. But hey, when has sports ever been rational, right? And that's why, look, if this was our model and this had to sustain for the next 20 years, no, I'm not going to waste my time and treasure on that. We may be talking about 18 months. You know, you've already heard the president of the NCAA talk about maybe there's going to be a new level of Division I. And the question is this. I believe one of these two things is going to be the pathway. It's going to happen by invite or intent. So let's unpack what those two things mean. Invite means that whether it's a league, whatever, when the earthquake breaks, and I think everyone knows the earthquake is coming in college football, that you're going to need a league to invite you. Okay, well, if you need to be invited, you need to be, poised to be in a very successful place in your program to earn that invite. There's a lot of things that are very, very attractive about Duke to any conference, but you're not going to want to have a poor football team when the earthquake hits. The timing is, and everyone knows could be 18 months away, 2 years away, 3, it's coming. If it's not by invite, and if it goes maybe more to what the NCAA president said, it's going to be by intent. And the intent is that the shift in terms of compensating the players will go from external sources to internal sources. It means the university will handle that. And if the university is handling that, well, then that changes the entire model. One, because again, when the earthquake happens, there's going to be new TV contracts, the amount of money coming in. Everyone knows that this is coming, right? And so what we've got to do right now is that we've got to build that parachute for Duke football. And maybe that's not even the right model. I mean, maybe really a better model is build that rocket booster for us, okay, over these next 24 months, okay, just to keep us in that level of orbit, right, where we're on that stage where we're attracting College Game Day and knocking off people that have been knocked off the last couple of years and staying in that stage. And that's why it's so important, Josh. If there's one theme in this conversation, it's so funny to double down on the something bad is about to happen. What we have now is we have the ability to affect the change. And instead of just, sitting in the stands with our arms folded, like, God, I hope this works out. Like we can maximize our ability for it to work out. And that, I sat in Madison Square Garden, okay, for that Duke Baylor game. And it was unbelievable. I mean, it was like 18,000 Duke fans up there. Baylor, I thought, traveled well. There's a couple thousand Baylor fans. And that night in MSG, I walked out with my middle son, who's at Vanderbilt. And I told him, this has to be protected by all costs. By all costs. Because what I witnessed that night was so extraordinary. And I've been around college athletics for more, I've been alive in college athletics more than I've been before I was in college athletics. And I've been at Penn State whiteouts, and I've coached at Texas and Florida State and Miami and SEC. I've been so blessed to do so many different things. And what I saw that night, like, we have got to defend that. Bringing this staff to Cameron last weekend for the first time for that Tech game, those guys all came back. And they're like, that's the most extraordinary thing I've ever seen. That must be protected. And the way to protect that is football. And the way to protect that is in the next 24 months.